Hello, good evening, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, L.A. by Night. Tonight is Season 2, Episode 7, Red Flags. Let's meet our vampires.
I'm Alexander Ward, and I play Jasper.
I'm Erica Ishii, and I play Annabelle.
I'm Cynthia Marie, and I play Nellie G.
I'm B. Dave Walters. I play Victor Temple, and it's been a hard week.
And I'm your storyteller, Jason Carl. Before we get started, we're going to thank Dogmite, the master craftspeople who bring us our beautiful dice boxes with the clan symbols on them to hide your hunger from the world, and our fantastic custom storyteller's screen emblazoned with both the Anarch and Camarilla symbols. I couldn't imagine why that would be. Maybe it's because in last week's episode we saw some pretty powerful undead politics happening with the vampire anarch leaders of Los Angeles. So let's recap that action now with a rat's eye view of it, courtesy of Ramona's sketchbook.
Holy shit! What's more fun than a baron in a crappy mood? 4 barons in an even crappier mood. The bosses all met to have a little bitty chitty chat about the Camarilla and made a plan to push back. And, hey, gotta hand it to you, Dom. I didn't think that would work. Never thought you'd get close enough to check it out, but they never even looked under the sofa. Genius! Never seen the big 3 all together in one place before. Nines Rodriguez, Isaac Abrams, and Therese Vorman. And of course, our uber undad, Victor Temple, the newest Baron. Or is he? Seems the big 3 are not happy with his shenanigans and decided to teach him a lesson. Meet the newest Baron, Fiona. Looking sharp, too. She's helped herself to a big slice of the Vampire Valley pie. Some of Victor's turf is now hers, and the big 3 gave her the big thumbs up. No way this ends well, but they've all got bigger fish to fry for now. And that brings us to Nines, the vamp, the legend. We used to hang out, but he doesn't leave his turf much these nights, and we've all been a little busy, right guys? Nines made it clear he won't be the leader of the anti-Camarilla task force they're all cooking up. But Baby B? Yeah. He saw what we all saw. The real deal. The spark. The fire. She's gonna talk to the other licks, bring them on board, rile them up, fan the flames. I just hope she doesn't get burned.
Thank you, Megan Jessup, for those wonderful sketches from the sketchbook of Ramona. We're going to thank someone else tonight. This episode is sponsored by our friends at Backblaze. Backblaze is an awesome service that lets you back up your data to the cloud and retrieve it when things go wrong. Not that anything would ever go wrong, would it? You'll see a cool ad for them in the break. Show them some love at backblaze.com/LA by night. And on the subject of Backblaze, we've been able to use some of their sponsorship to create a 9th episode of LA by Night this season. So if you needed another reason to love Backblaze, it's because they're going to be bringing you a whole additional episode after the 8th. So you've got not 1 more, but 2 more episodes after this one. We'll have some more great announcements about some other fun Backblaze stuff as the episodes continue. So, what part will our coterie play in the upcoming conflict with the Camarilla? We'll find out now as we tell a vampire story. This morning, most of the mortal population of Los Angeles woke up to thoughts of work, or school, or maybe going back to sleep for a little while. They thought about what to have for breakfast, how to get that raise they know they deserve, or where they'll get the money to pay their rent this month. But not you. Maybe you did dream in the day sleep. Maybe you passed the day completely comatose. But after the sun sinks below the horizon and dark rises, you woke to very different thoughts. Thoughts about the danger in the night around you, the risk that you've undertaken, the mystery that has confronted you, and the hunger. Always the hunger. Each of you has been active in the last 2 nights, doing various things to contribute to the missions you've agreed to undertake in the name of the Anarch movement. Tonight, you're gathered at Club Maharaja once again under the safety of Victor's security team. How will you proceed from here?
I actually need to make a phone call. Fiorenza keeps a pretty tight schedule. I message Fiorenza is now still good.
A long moment passes, and the text message reply is yes.
So I do this in front of all of them, but I do not put it on speakerphone.
So you're calling Fiorenza,
Yes.
and they will hear your side of the conversation?
Yes.
Very well.
And I do call her.
Victor, my boy, always a delight to hear from you. How are you keeping?
It has been a week, Fiorenza.
Indeed.
I guess we're used to them coming after us all the time, but I gotta tell you, I wasn't used to it being some of the ones that I thought were looking out for my best interests. It makes you think, maybe there really is no one in this world we can count on.
The thought has crossed my mind from time to time, my boy. Could it be that you are dissatisfied in your current loyalties?
I wouldn't go that far, but if they expect me to live under fiat law, if they expect me to just do what I'm told and get in line and accept what they say, then what does it even mean to be unbound?
A sentiment echoed by many of my colleagues in the Ivory Tower. I confess I do not understand your choice in this matter, but as you know, the door home is not yet closed.
I don't know what's gonna happen in Los Angeles, but I don't want us killing each other in the streets.
You may find this is inevitable.
Well, I'll think about what you've said as always, but,
Before you go,
yes, ma'am.
my associate, Mr. Price, informs me that Miss G may be having similar doubts. Is this true?
You know, over these last nights, we haven't had a chance to talk. I'll speak with her later. One thing, though. I really could use some help here. Is the business in Chicago concluded?
Ah.
Like I said, there's so few I can count on.
I shall take it under advisement. You shall hear some news of this before the week is out, my boy.
As always, I appreciate your counsel, Fiorenza. Anything you think about how I should proceed, I will always take quite seriously.
I dare say you'll be the first to know.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night. The lion goes dead.
So that ball's rolling.
Who is that?
A very powerful Ventru. She's very plugged into the Camarilla. We came up kind of along the same time. She was very influential in the mortal world and has quickly become very influential in the kindred world too. But we kind of learned the ropes, became friends, all about the same time, more or less.
She an anarch too?
Oh no. Oh dude, no. Fiorenza's the furthest thing from it. But Ventru usually have more in common than we don't. But the reason why I did this whole little display is I had to plant the seed that I'm dissatisfied, hopefully get the phone to ring. I can't just say, please let us come talk to you, because they'll sense a trap. Of course, I need them to invite us.
Okay.
Ball's rolling.
Got it. So that was the invitation to Elysium.
Well, it hasn't come just yet, but I think if I read the conversation correctly, it's probably coming, unless you found a way to open that particular door.
I have a few ways of opening that door, but it seems like that's probably a better opportunity. What I have is intel as to what Vanavar might be thinking.
Please share.
Well, so the Rose Garden is also quite small, and everybody loves to talk about gossip and politics.
I don't.
Well, see, you'll learn something in the Camarilla that everybody talks rumors and politics. That's how you climb up the social ivory tower. It's obnoxious. Yes. Anywho, I keep in contact, or somewhat keep in contact with some of the rose petals, and 3 of them actually kind of gave me some information. So there's this obnoxious little pixie bitch named Paulina who seems to think that she's better than me. Hardly.
Perish the thought, darling.
What?
Perish.
What? He means that everybody in the Camarilla always thinks that they're better than the other people, right?
That's that's what I took from it. Yeah.
Good save. At any rate, Vanavar doesn't take us seriously.
That's fair. We don't take us very seriously.
Us.
No,
Us or us, the anarchs.
us as a valley coterie doesn't take us seriously. Doesn't think that we're a threat, which is actually quite good in our favor.
It is good.
Even after the
Also
sheriff.
accurate.
Even after the sheriff thing, you didn't.
No.
'Cause that was inspired work.
In fact, he thinks that you're quite a good fighter. At least that's the word amongst the cam.
Good.
At any
Great.
rate,
Awesome.
they've also admitted that it's a complete and utter trap. Something that we've all talked about already.
Well, at least they're probably being honest, or they are instruments of the trap.
Yeah, but it's made us a laughing stock of the Elysium, so that's something we get to walk into.
I mean, this is another one of those times that why do we give a shit what they think in the Elysium? But okay.
Well, you should give a shit because a few of them may have moved in on your turf to live in the valley.
I heard about some Toreador in the valley.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
So do we do anything about that?
I would suggest to keep it under surveillance.
Yeah.
They could be an ally. Could be.
Miranda, our old friend, let me know that she'd. I know. Yeah, right. She does that to all of us. It's fine. She tipped me off about the Toreador and asked what I wanted to do, and I said, let's just keep eyes on them. It might be good to know their comings and goings. You know, maybe we can make friends with them. If not, maybe they can be useful pieces in whatever we're about to do next.
Yep.
Is that this Paulina? Is she in the valley?
No, she'd not be caught dead in the valley, sweetheart. No. No, she's in Beverly Hills. Beverly Glen, I'm sorry. Beverly Glen. Yeah.
Well, something to keep an eye on.
So one thing that I actually got some very interesting intel on, which I didn't think is a very trustworthy source, but this guy named Rex, total pretty boy hotshot. Ugh, I'm not quite sure I trust him. However, he did say something along the lines of, Vannevar plans to make an example of you.
I mean, apparently he can join the club. I think everybody thinks they can make their bones against me.
Yeah, but see, the difference is Vannevar has to keep his word right now because he's in a really bad shape.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He gets to tell everybody we don't matter. He gets to tell everybody it's no big deal. But then if he has
Just gotta make good on it.
upstarts killing his sheriff, he's got to do something. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Walking into that meeting. An example?
well, the way the Camarilla works is Elysium really is sacred ground, and at least up until recently, they took that stuff very seriously.
Still do.
So it's possible he'll hit us before, it's possible he'll hit us after.
No, there's safe passage going and coming.
Yes. Going and coming. It doesn't mean the day later they won't hit us.
Precisely.
Right. So,
As soon as we're out of the door,
yeah. We get all the way home, and then our house explodes.
Yeah.
Basically. So, but theoretically, in Elysium, we're actually probably in one of the safest places. Maybe, probably. They could go all red wedding on us. I don't know. Like, they're not making sense anymore.
Red wedding? Who would have a red wedding?
No, it's
That's such an awful...
No, it's that show. Like,
What?
I mean, I actually read the books. Like, Victoria gave me such a hard time. You know what? Never mind. It's inconsequential. Inconsequential.
You watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I mean, I read it when it came out. It's, ooh.
But you watched it though too.
Yeah, sure.
Which one do you prefer?
You know what? Hang on. We'll talk about it more later.
Okay.
But
Right.
But I'm ready for that story to be over. Let me tell you that. But either way, theoretically, we're safe in the Elysium.
Did they read or write about cam life?
It's a lot like that, actually. It is a
Sounds
lot.
like yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. It's
Yeah.
that, but with dragons.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah.
Dragons.
Yeah.
You know what? Why didn't I think of this in the first place when I was trying to explain it all to you? It's like freaking Game of Thrones. That's what it's like.
That would yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I have a cultural touchstone for
Right.
this. Now, great. Thank you.
But
Good.
with less dragons. Yeah. What about you? I know you were hanging out with Nines. He was cool, man.
Nines is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I have so much to learn from him. But actually, what I was thinking about, I know we got really distracted with the whole political situation on hand, but what about the ghosts?
Yeah, what about? I mean, I thought that was the one guy dissipated. You told me, Petronella. I asked her to leave the guy alone, and she did.
But something weird is going on in Griffith.
Yeah.
And something, it's like we sort of dealt with some of the symptoms, which was a haunting.
Yeah.
But there was still a skeleton in that basement, and Ava said there's something weird underground.
I can't imagine what that would be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we
The
saw
First
weird
Nations people that were there, and
Right. Yeah. Well, last time I tried to ask Eva about it. Apparently, that made me the jerk. So that's why I haven't brought it up again. What do you think?
I think it's worth looking into. I haven't heard anything from Petronella at all.
Well, I assume your sister's okay, seeing as I got this back.
Yes, she's fine. She's on an early spring break.
Yeah, she's probably good to not be around.
so I don't know. I feel like there's something there, and that's still not our territory.
It's not.
Something's going down around Griffith, and I feel like whatever it is could somehow be connected with all of this recent activity with the kindred in LA.
All right, wait, hold on. Idea. So, as our appointed revolutionary leader,
Long may she reign.
God.
how would you go about the situation? What do you think we should do?
Well, we were kind of in the heat of the moment there, but Ava seemed like she had more information on it. Also, the sisters, I bet, would know something.
What do you suggest? Which one?
Let's talk to the sisters. This seems like something they might be able to shed light on.
I mean, it kind of steps on your front doorstep, man. I mean, are you okay with us letting them know?
Have I ever been okay with you letting anybody know?
This is why I'm trying to be better, Jasper. This is me attempting to get consent.
Olive branch.
Not particularly. I have plans to bring an expert there at some point, but I don't particularly think that is an immediate problem.
Okay.
Not that it may not be a problem.
I mean, it's your house, dude.
I mean, I do agree that while it is something weird that we need to figure out, it is probably less imminent. I kind of put the ghost and Fiona in the same box. They're problems that need solving. They're just not the problems that need solving next.
Again, I really feel like somebody could make a killing in vampire therapy.
I'm sure they could.
Yeah.
You know, there used to be some that did that kind of thing. They had like a third eye and everything. It's weird, but I haven't seen any of them in like a long time.
Well, in the interim, in interest of what you've brought up, Jasper, will your home be okay, or do you need some assistance warding things off? Not that I can help in that situation, but figure I'd bring it up.
No,
Apparently we know people.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Did you ever figure out who that guy down there is? That Nosferatu that's in like mom jeans from the 80s? Like what his deal is?
No.
Wait, okay, speaking of guys, who were the people above the other night?
Oh, I think they were just paparazzi. You remember like way back Maharaja, the night they came and hit us at the club? There was a reporter there sniffing around, and I sort of did my thing and got rid of him. I mean, it was that guy back again, you know? So I agreed to do an interview, and he left.
Are you all right?
What do you mean?
You look terrible.
Yes, now that you mention this.
I appreciate that, getting style pointers from a room full of corpses. That's cool. No, I guess I'm not all right. This has been a pretty rough couple of days, but I guess maybe I haven't been sleeping well, which is weird because we don't sleep as such, but I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know. That's weird.
Wait, is the ghost here? Can you see anything?
No, I don't think so. Should I roll for something?
Do you want to try?
Yes.
I've been keeping an eye on the guys. None of them are walking weird.
So, sense the unseen? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's make it... Let's make it wits and investigation. Not a great roll.
Like, is
Not a
this
great pool.
Is this one of those things where since you mentioned it, maybe like it came? Is it like freaking Beetlejuice where we just talk about it and...
2 successes.
2 successes. You see no spirits, no specters, no ghosts. Where are you looking? Around the room?
So, I saw flickering lights, so
So you look up.
yeah.
Wow. You don't need the supernatural eyesight to see the rat.
So, Annabelle, seeing as you're now our only hope, have you put any thought into it?
Yeah, I think that we really do need to make an effort to reach out to all the kindred, both locally and outside of our territory,
Yeah.
and the people that feel disenfranchised, looked over, the people that could be potential allies.
Right. How do you propose we go about doing that? You're one person.
Well,
It's going to take quite a while for you to go talk to everybody.
yeah. I figured doesn't everybody else hang out with their clans or their coteries, and can't we send out emissaries the way that I mean
Oh yeah.
Jazz is doing the thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you just want to put the word out, we can put the word out. I mean, the Nines talked about how McNeil went door to door, shaking hands. But I mean, in 1914 or whatever, there was probably 20 of us. It's a little harder now, but we could do it. Yeah, we could do it.
I mean, it seems like the Thin Bloods, they have some sort of network, and you know a lot of people.
Yeah, those like Nosferatu are everywhere, man. They gotta know.
I'm sure they do.
Where are they?
They're around.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I can take you to them if you want.
Yeah.
Some of them, not all of them. I mean, there's a lot of them. But I can take you to some of them.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
wait, hang on. But where though?
That's not actually that bad. We just have to go underneath Hollywood forever.
There's an underneath Hollywood Forever?
Of course,
Yeah.
that's where they are. I said Brewhall were
That's
cliche.
where
The
some of them are.
Come on,
That's-
the Nosferatu in Hollywood for
Hollywood Forever Cemetery, yes.
That's so goth.
It is very on brand. It's very on brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, we can go.
Do you want to explain the Nosferatu thing to her, or should I?
What thing?
Victor, please explain to me what you mean by the Nosferatu thing.
No, again,
Should I explain the Ventru thing?
I think she's seen the Ventru thing, but yeah, after I explain the Nosferatu thing, you can explain the Ventru thing if you want. Hang on, you tell me if I'm wrong. They're pretty much everywhere.
Uh-huh.
They pretty much know everything.
I've seen maybe 2 in our time.
Well, but more than 2 have seen us, though. I guarantee it. And you can buy almost anything from them if the price is right. And they tend to all have something going on here-ish.
Anything?
I mean, what would
Anywhere?
be an accurate representation? They act as kind of information sellers.
Oh.
If you have what they want, they can get you what you want, generally speaking. But what you have to pay may not be worth what you're asking.
What do they want?
That depends on who you talk to and what they want at the time.
Okay. Is anybody... Are there any here right now?
No, I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't know even if there were, unless I was better at it than they were, and there's every possibility that I'm not better at it than they are.
You remember me complaining about us being like nocturnal predators without night vision? They can turn invisible without being able to see invisibility.
Cool. Remember how I was really freaked out about the rats?
Yeah,
Seeing
yeah.
through the rats?
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that maybe at any moment there could be Nosferatu around. That's not something you all felt was...
Well, you've seen me do it a million times.
You saw Nick do it in this very place.
I didn't know that there were any other, like, a bunch of Nosferatu around. I thought, like...
That he was the only
I thought
one.
I was special. That's so sweet.
You are special.
You are special. But yeah, like, I thought you might have been one of maybe 2 in the
No.
greater LA
There's
area.
a lot of us.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Wait, Hollywood Forever. Oh, I'm thinking Forest Lawn. I was like, they're in the valley, but they're not in the valley.
They're not in the valley.
No, they're in
Right.
Hollywood.
I mean, again, they're not in the valley.
Yeah, that's Abrams' turf. Are we okay there?
Nope. I
Well-
told you guys what happened. Yeah, please. Sorry.
He's fine with us being there. We're just not fine with him at the moment, as far as I understand it.
I feel like that is an accurate accounting of events. I will say I have radically stepped up the timetable of our move to the valley. I've even put in some offers on some places, so we might be able to get out of here sooner than later. This is not as safe as I thought.
I will say one thing, if I am to take all three of you down there. Please be polite.
I don't know what you mean.
Not all of them are as willing to look over comments as I am. And a lot of them are much more concerned about their appearance than I am. And I want to explain something to you, Annabelle, because it's going to get confusing if you don't already know. Some of them aren't going to look like there's anything wrong with them. Doesn't mean there's not.
Oh,
They're just going to look like they're fine.
is that part of your...
Yeah. Not something I particularly can do. But some can.
Okay. Do you need to, like, bow or curtsy or
No,
anything?
just be polite.
Okay.
They live under a cemetery. They're not royalty.
You
I'm still learning.
Although some of them might think they are.
be nice.
But
Don't be
Don't be me.
Toreador. Yeah, right.
Thanks.
Don't be you. Be less you.
wow.
Yeah, I love you, but maybe less there.
Maybe wear appropriate shoes.
Oh yeah, no suits. Yeah, I'm gonna not.
What do you mean
do
appropriate shoes?
suits.
Closed-toed
I wear closed-toed shoes.
with some sort
That's
of
fine.
maybe rubber sole,
Mine generally have rubber soles.
That you can afford to lose.
flat
I have some
boots of some sort.
Flat.
We'll find some. I got some Chuck Taylors around here that I'm sure will fit you. It'll be fine.
I don't wear Chuck Taylors.
Doc Martens.
I mean, yeah,
I have those.
we'll think of something. Hey, I will tell you this though. Kind of the standard talk that I give you though, Annabelle.
What was that?
I really.
What was that?
I text Campbell. I'm all like, eyes on the cameras. Is everything all right?
One moment, sir. Comes the text reply.
What? What? I don't do the ghost thing. Like what?
I can't see anything.
Your phone rings. A few moments later, it is Campbell's number.
I actually put him on speakerphone. I'm like, yeah, Campbell.
Sir, yes, there's a utility crew working on some lines around the corner on our block. Looks like some intermittent outages, maybe.
They
We
seem
have some-
legit.
Should we check it out?
Keep eyes on them because it's late. So I didn't see any. It's weird. It's an odd hour for standard maintenance.
Not in LA, sir.
Keep eyes on them, please.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir.
And hang up. Hey, I was just going to say, you've seen what Jasper can do. You've seen what Nick can do. Some of the Nosferatu are very, very powerful and very, very strong. Even though we're probably being somewhat welcomed, if they don't want us to leave, we are not going to.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay, so don't make I would never make comments about how they look.
I was just a blanket statement. I wasn't directing it
Okay.
specifically at you.
Sure.
Some of them may not look like Nosferatu. They could be anywhere at any time. They may know things about all of us.
No, they do. They do.
Know our secrets.
Some of them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I don't work the same way a lot of them do. I don't really trade in that many secrets. It's not how I live. Whatever this is. But a lot of them, that's all they care about, is secrets. So they're gonna be different than me.
Okay.
But just, you'll be fine.
Yeah, something that maybe they were actually some of the first hackers were Nosferatu, like information technology. They pioneered a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they did.
do anything on a computer when you're hiding underground. Hey, wait a second. How is it that you're like a part of like the greater Metro Nosferatu community? I thought you like woke up alone and didn't like know anything. Like, did they find you? You find them? Like, what even?
I mean, I have been around LA for 5 years. I've done some investigation. I also talked to some people and found out I didn't just stumble onto everything. I did get someone finally to teach me some of what I am.
Everyone should.
And there are others, so
Hey, how soon can you hook this up?
I'm sure we can go there tonight. I just have to make a call.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Cool.
Guess I have to change.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna not this, but don't like not too understated because then you'll insult them.
I'm just gonna send a message.
Are you going to send a text message on your flip phone?
Yes.
What is the message?
Would it be all right if I stopped by with some friends?
Takes a few moments for the reply to come back. 4 for dinner.
Yeah. Thank you.
Victor, your phone rings. It is Campbell again.
Speakerphone again. Yeah,
Sir,
Campbell.
sir, just wanted to let you know, I put in a call to the utility company. They do have a crew on our block working. Apparently traffic signals being replaced, or they're not sure what the cause of the malfunction on the light is. Could be computer problems. It could be a fault in the lines. But as far as I can tell, it's legitimate.
All right. Maybe just keep one person, just in case.
We can spare. It's been quiet, sir, so I'm sure I can spare the men again. Which reminds me, sir, should I put the detail back on your son?
What do you mean back on my son?
I mean, we pulled him off when you said all hands on deck when everybody went on lockdown. We needed everybody. We couldn't staff around the clock without him.
Wait, hang on. What do you mean, okay, Campbell? If I said everything is so dangerous that we couldn't leave and we had to be protected, why would you think that my
When did you?
most vulnerable child I would not want somebody on them? That means put more people on them. What the hell, man?
I'm sorry, sir. You said to bring everybody
How
in.
long have you been off of Mark?
About
maybe 6 nights?
Campbell, find him.
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I thought you meant...
I never mean leave the kids unprotected. Wait, what about, and I take him off speakerphone and I'm like, what about the other people? You still have eyes on them?
Yes? Well, do you mean the other person?
Yes, I do.
No, I brought in everybody, sir.
Jesus, fuck, Campbell, find them all. Now.
Yes, sir, right away.
And I hang up. When's the last time you talked to Mark?
I need to make a note.
It's been a while. It's been months, but I have been keeping tabs on him, and I've been following him. Okay, I just wanted to see him again, and he's dropped out of school. He's going out at nights, just at nights, and the group's planning something. I don't know what. I don't know. He's just been meeting with them in ones and in like pairs and groups of 3 and small stuff. But they're planning something. I don't know what. And I mean, he's alive. He's alive.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Still eating and
Okay.
like go to the bathroom.
Well, since you're telling me that you've had eyes on Mark, I feel the need to tell you I also had people on Eleanor. I just wanted to make sure she was okay. Apparently, when Campbell pulled eyes off of Mark, he pulled eyes off of her too. I don't know if you want to make sure that she's okay too. I wanted to make sure they were all okay. I had them out of sight. I don't even know if they had tails. But now I don't know. I don't know. You just found out when I found out that they've had no one on them. Jesus
Following her.
Christ. I had people protecting her. That's the simplest way to hurt either of us, is to hurt them.
I told you I had it handled.
I know what you said. I'm not trying to interfere in your business. I don't know if you've been in touch with her or not, but whatever protection I had on her apparently hasn't been on her. That's all I know. Or him. But I sent them out. They're gonna pick them both back up. At least eyes on them. They're not gonna pick them up. They're gonna put eyes back on them.
Okay. It's gonna be fine. It's fine.
I do text Ramona. I say, my eyes on Mark and Eleanor got pulled. Can you check, please?
Text comes back.
That
How's B?
explain why there is now
Pissed.
Me too.
why there was no
Just check, please.
Maybe.
Stand by.
I don't know. I checked the playlist.
Check the playlist.
What?
There is a song on the playlist. The song is Red Flags and Long Nights by She Wants Revenge. Do you have a response?
I put on In the Next Room by the Neon Trees.
Song of love and attraction and devotion and need. I have made a note.
I would also like to text Mark. I just say, hey, it's Dad. I know it's been a minute, but I'm going to be in the area tomorrow night. Maybe we can get together?
The reply comes back in less than 30 seconds. I'm busy.
I just look at the phone and I say, well, Mark's probably fine. But we'll know for sure.
Did you respond?
Yeah, and it sounds like something he'd say.
Okay.
My people will find him. That's the problem. All right, this is another one of those lessons. You know that whole like blood bond thing? They take things very literally. So of course I should have known when Campbell thought he was protecting me. That meant do nothing else. Apparently you have to spell it out. Sorry, your thing. When do we need to move? There's nothing we can do about that now. Are you?
I'm sure she's fine.
I asked Ramona to look around too. The Rat Pack will find them.
I'm gonna go get dressed.
Upstairs to the closet in the office
Yep.
where you have some spare clothing.
Yes.
I appreciate your help. But when I say it's over and I handled it, it's fine. You just gotta trust me on this, okay?
You saying you want me to pull the people off Eleanor? Because I'll do it. You know this
Yes.
game now.
Yes.
With all of this, Vanavar's got to make an example. Are you
Yes.
absolutely sure?
Yes.
I do text Campbell, no eyes on Eleanor. But I don't text Ramona. Say it's done. I pull my people off of him.
Campbell's text reply is affirmative, sir. And I have made another note.
You gotta know, though, this revolution, this war, this coterie, whatever, everybody's always going to be looking to hit our soft targets, and it doesn't get much softer than the two of them.
I know, and I'm trying. I am, but you don't just forget something like that. I have a new life now. I have a new family, a new purpose. But it's hard. It's been less than 2 months.
The blood tears that fall from Annabelle's eyes are scenting the room with vampire vitae. Is anyone above hunger 2?
Hunger 3.
You're at hunger 3. I'd like you to make a check of your unmarked willpower.
Including blood dice or not including blood dice?
Not including the blood dice, so there can't be a bestial failure.
1 success.
With 1 success, it takes everything you have not to give in to that taste, that smell, because you know what it is.
Do I notice this? Are you okay?
Taste it.
I'm fine.
I actually move in between the two of them.
You know you want to. You saved her from me once, but you can't save her all the time. Eventually.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry. Just,
You're wiping the tears away?
yeah.
It takes a moment, but the scent dissipates. Your palates are no longer itching.
I just thought I had everything figured out. I thought I had the rest of my life figured out, and in a way, I guess I did.
Annabelle, your phone beeps. Text message from Ramona. It's all cool.
Thank you. Stay on target.
Back at you, baby B.
You know I hate that.
I know.
I keep my eyes on Jasper because I realize he's only got so much control over this, but I'm speaking to you and I say, this isn't 2 months ago with me telling you what to do. You know what this is now. But there's no stay-at-home vampires. There's no nuclear families. There's just not. There's just not.
Yeah. I know.
Can it actually, like,
Like,
I do give her. Yeah. I'm all like, the blood won't show up on the black. It's fine. It's fine. That's why I wear it. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
No, we're good. That's why I do it. It's
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess I know why you want guys to wear light colors.
Jasper, I don't know if I can. Will it help you if I
If you what?
make you forget about
No,
what just happened?
it won't help.
Is there any other way I can help?
No. It's fine.
Well then, I guess let's get ready to roll then.
I could eat.
Yeah, you know the guys. Just yeah.
By now, Annabelle, you have your favorites among them. You know who is truly consenting and eager and willing to help you by generously giving you a part of them. And it's to one of those people that you go. And he is, in fact, genuine and authentic in his desire to help you. He's sympathetic. Despite his mortal point of view, his limited understanding of all of this, he does find satisfaction in helping you with your hunger. And so he offers you his hand, and he kneels down in front of you to make it easier. And he offers it to you. Just one. The fangs sink into the flesh, and you know that moment of pure joy, that moment where all your wants and needs are satisfied. You're happy, and she's there with you, and you're together, and it's bliss. But you don't lose yourself. You remember. And you make sure you take just enough to take the edge off. So reduce your hunger pool.
Thanks.
That was I'm glad I could help.
I'm glad you could too.
You close the wound for him so that there's no trace of your feasting. Okay.
Give him a little peck on the cheek. Thanks.
He seems almost shy about it. Nellie, wardrobe change. Mm-hmm. What does that entail?
Quite a lot of black. Just probably some ripped up designer jeans, a blouse, a button-up blouse fitted, some new rock boots that are all blinged out.
Okay.
They're flat-ish.
Flat-ish.
Ish.
Ish.
Enough to meet Jasper's requirements.
A nice wedge.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it still goes with the
It's
beret.
up to you.
Yeah.
Still goes with the beret.
Still goes with the shiny beret. That's just not
Fantastic.
gonna pop off.
Okay.
So make my way back downstairs, visibly pissed off.
Unhappy.
Very.
Before she comes back and while Annabelle's gone feeding, can I just say something to Jasper when it's just the two of us?
So, just Jasper and Victor.
Right after she leaves, I just say, I know what she's trying to do, but those human connections, they're only gonna get burned up.
Yeah.
Nothing good can come from that.
You're probably right.
I don't know how to get that across to her.
I don't think you will. For all intents and purposes, you're doing the same thing. You just have a better handle on it. You have the resources to take care of that in a better manner. She does not. And is not willing to accept your help because she wants to be the one to protect her.
You want to know the real reason why I listened to her and why the real reason why I took those guys off Eleanor?
Why?
Because it may take something terrible happening for her to understand this new life.
That's true. It might. Some people have to hit bottom before they realize what's important and and how the world works. I don't think Annabelle is going about it wrong. Our way she's been keeping in contact is interesting. And it might work.
It might.
Seeing as the Camarilla hates technology now. But it could very well go the other way.
Well,
And if it does, eventually she won't have to worry about it anymore.
you know, I tried real hard to keep her away from Mark, but
You were never going to win that battle.
I know she won't hurt him on purpose. I know she won't hurt anyone on purpose. I'm doing whatever I can to keep all of them safe, but it's coming from all sides, man. Freaking ghosts are coming after Nellie's family. What even is that? I can't put guys on her sister against ghosts.
You see, the best way to, at least in my experience, to not have this problem is to not have this problem. But as soon as you have this problem, it continues to get complicated. And all three of you have someone. And that makes you all vulnerable.
Not all of us have the luxury of invisibility.
Yeah.
And then they can return.
Okay, so Nellie comes back with her new Nosferatu underground exploration attire.
It's like Tomb Raider. You're going to release a new collection. I like this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. A tomb that I'm going to raid and have all the secrets from everybody's life.
What? You knew about Mark. You knew about Eleanor. Of course I put people on them. I would have put people on your sister had I known. Maybe this would have gone different.
Why didn't you tell her?
Because she would have, done something impulsive and dumb.
That moment when we all had secrets coming out and we said that we're going to come fucking clean, why didn't you say anything?
I've got people making sure the people you love the most are still living and breathing. That doesn't constitute a secret to me. That constitutes something obvious. I got guys on this place keep protecting you.
Annabelle off. I hear her wailing from all the way up there.
It's a lot. I understand that it's a lot. But I'm just trying to keep everyone in one piece. But are we good now? Can we?
Yeah, let's go.
Feel better?
I think it's okay.
Okay.
How about you?
I can eat later, it's fine. Well,
Is it
is what?
fine? Because you kind of always just say that as a default. It's not always fine.
Nothing's ever fine,
No.
Annabelle.
Okay.
But it's fine. I don't like to feed in public. I don't like what I am, and it's just a thing. I don't like anybody watching me feed. So I'd rather be hungry than feed.
You'd rather put your life in it. I mean, we know what you do. We know now. You don't have to be ashamed of it. I'd rather that happen than you lose control or hurt yourself again. You're always hurting yourself.
I mean, things are hurting me. Let's be clear on that.
A little bit column A, a little bit column B.
The environment hurts me. I just happen to be in places where it does that. That's all.
Oh yes, you just happen to be in situations.
I just happen to be in a place where there's fire.
There's fire, or somebody, takes a swing at you. I just.
Would it make you more comfortable if I fed before we left?
Yes, it would.
Seconded.
All right. We have one of two ways of doing this. And these are non-negotiable. Either you all wait here, and I come back in about an hour. Or we take a car, and you all stand awkwardly or sit in a car while I go home.
I mean, we know where your front door is, man. So I'm like, we can drive by there on the way to Hollywood Forever. That's not hard.
All right, then.
She's right. You get beat up a lot. I can teach you how to, take that a little better if you are interested.
Thanks
Wait.
for your concern.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I can show you too.
You guys have like a seminar or something we just taken that we know how to be.
I mean, coming from him, probably a seminar.
There may or may not
already know how to do that.
be visual aids. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I definitely can't take a punch.
Yeah.
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 So what is the order of business?
Well, I suppose we get into a car. I get a ride home from Dad.
Awkwardly sit.
And then we head to Hollywood Forever afterwards.
You're going to contact the staff and have a car and driver prepared?
Yeah, I would like the same guy, Bailey, if he's available. He was a solid guy.
The younger fellow.
Yeah, the one who drove us to the park. He seemed a calm sort.
Look. You're gonna have to indulge me here. You're gonna have to drop me off at least 2 blocks away.
Oh, he's embarrassed of you.
No. You know what I'm...
Still gonna yell I love you out the window.
Yeah. You remember that whole target that's on my back?
Yeah.
I don't want you guys pulling up directly in front of my house.
That's fair.
Jasper, what if we just met you there? Would that be easier for you?
It doesn't matter. Driving me there is probably quicker, and we should get things underway.
Yeah, we'll wait. It's cool.
Just drop me off a little ways away.
And then afterwards, I'll make sure Bailey forgets where we went, so it'll be fine.
All right.
I do
Sounds good.
do that. We drop him wherever he requests.
Very well. So let's compress time a little bit. The car is ready as planned. Bailey is your driver. As you recall, he is one of the younger people on your team, and he was professional and a fighter in the Navy. He's got that dented-in cheek as evidence of his pugilistic days. He
Good to see
doesn't
you.
ask questions and drives the car expertly to where you tell him to go. Now, Jasper's front door is barely a 20-minute drive from where you are, and you want to drop him off several blocks away.
Yes,
is that
please.
right?
Wherever's requested.
I mean, is there
And you wait in the vehicle.
a way to change your diet?
That will require a desire to change my diet.
I mean, you don't want to?
No. I don't want to eat people.
I mean, sure, but they're a lot more readily available and sometimes willing than
We all,
keeping a sentient
yeah,
person in a
let's-
cage.
We all have our ways of doing things, Annabelle.
Bailey's eyebrows twitch, but he says nothing.
It's metaphorical. It's metaphorical. We're all birds in our own gilded cages.
He pretends to find something of great interest in the instrumentation dashboard.
Yeah, Annabelle. Honestly, I'm amazed. Really. Because when you all stumbled into my house, I was pretty sure that was the end of our time together. And it is not something that generally goes over well. I know why you didn't call me on it now, but that's what didn't know at the time. But you both seem to have very little issue with what I was doing. That is a rarity in the world. The rest of the world finds out what I am doing. I'm even more dead than I already am.
Well, then why don't you change that then?
Because I like what I'm doing. And I live the way I do, and I live as an anarch because I get to do what I like to do. I don't get to do what I like to do if I go back to join the Camarilla. And I don't like to hurt humans. It may happen on occasion through accidental means, but it's not something I intend to do. So I find a way, however technical it might be, to not do it.
I mean, I just would like to make a case for changing to something that is not only more socially acceptable, but also easier
I'm sorry.
for you.
Do you think your way is kindred acceptable?
I honestly don't know. Is it?
No.
Oh.
Actually, if you could you guys give me just 1 second? I activate awe,
Okay.
and I'm like, hey, Bailey,
He turns around in the driver's seat to look at you. Sir.
I need you to forget all about this.
Yeah.
And could you just wait outside for just a second?
Sure.
Just 30 seconds. We family business here.
I'll take care of some things, sir.
Yeah, you make a phone call.
Are you going to be all right?
Pokemon Go. I heard there's a rare one around here. That's a thing that people
Yeah,
still do, right?
yeah, I'll get that.
If you
I'll
could
go
just
find it.
I'll honk when I'm
Maybe
ready.
it's like
beep,
maybe
beep.
it's like a Charizard or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, I'll give you the double tap when I'm ready for you to come back.
Yeah, I got it. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. You sure you're going to be okay?
Always, 100%. But I do need you because we gotta.
Oh, I'm not here anymore. He excuses himself, lets himself out of the vehicle, shuts the door, pulls out his phone, brings up the app, and starts
Right.
hunting for Pokemon.
Yeah, you guys give me a hard time about being loose-lipped about things, but
I assume all your people are under your
Yeah,
control.
I thought that.
well, I
Not
mean,
always.
well, it's better if it's just messes I don't have to clean. But yeah, okay, cool,
Sorry.
cool. Sorry, please proceed.
Hey, you're right. There it is. Oh, I'm going to get it.
What you do will kill you just as fast as what I do. You're breaking the masquerade every time you feed.
I mean,
And that gets you just as dead as what I do.
He's not wrong.
I don't judge you because I can't.
I'm not judging you. It's just you are. There have been a couple of times where you've put yourself in grave danger, and the only way that you can get better is to go feed from your private stash, which is like sometimes miles away.
I'm aware.
Also not wrong.
So neither of us are wrong. But this is how I choose to spend my time and my life. Do you also tell vegans they eat wrong?
No,
I mean, but yeah, but they
vegans like
do.
are lessening the amount of things that are in cages. I don't see how this is comparable.
I'm lessening the amount of human deaths.
Oh, well, if
Annabelle, you're not going to win on this one.
Yeah.
You're going to have to let me just go
okay,
and feed.
okay, go eat,
Thank
Sorry,
you.
it's
I'm going to get out of the car
Just-
and activate unseen passage.
Vanishing from sight.
say leaves. I just say
It's a quick walk home.
I just worry
The
is all.
safeguards that you put in place remain untouched. And you do not believe that anyone has been here.
Okay. I don't
much?
get hungrier.
Say again?
From activating unseen passage, I don't get hungrier.
Okay, so you succeeded in the rouse check?
Yeah.
All right, still at 3. When you get home and you are able to sate your hunger, how much do you take?
2 points.
So you remain at 1 hunger.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't take long,
No.
but you're glad you did. And your beast is glad you did. About time.
Yeah.
You can't save her from me forever.
Yeah, I can.
You want to bet?
How much?
Shut up and drink.
I drink.
It takes time, but it's never quite long enough. Sated with just a little stab of hunger panging in your gut. Take 2 of the hunger dice out of your pool. And when you're ready, you can return to the vehicle.
I make sure everything's locked up.
Put the safeguards back in place.
I do take an additional item with me when I leave. I take and put in my backpack a stake,
Wooden stake.
wooden stake.
You have the nice hunter ones from before.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is fine. I made this one. I'm happy with it.
Okay. Made a note. And you return to the waiting vehicle.
Yeah,
Do you remain unseen as you go?
I do.
Okay, it'll require
Another
another rouse
rouse
check,
check, yep.
maybe defeating the purpose here.
Yep. I'm fine.
The beast remains satisfied. And you return when you interact with the vehicle, of course, you'll have to become
Yes.
visible.
I just tap on the window.
Sir, is it okay to come in now? I don't think there are any more Pokemon out here.
I say, yeah, I just got to get something out of the back. And I hop out and I open the back door. So then I'm just like, I must have left it. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's go. And then I get back in the front seat. I close the door after a couple seconds. And then I get back in the front seat.
Bailey's ready to go.
Yeah. Weird night. We got to go over to Hollywood Forever.
Yeah, whatever you say, sir.
Yeah, buddy of mine, accident a few years back. I'd like to pay my respects on his birthday.
And we would also like to pay our respects on his
Wow,
birthday.
that's nice of all of you.
Apparently.
He drives. Hollywood Forever.
I don't understand what you're upset about. Like, in the grand scheme of things, of the things that we have not disclosed to one another, the fact that there was armed guards ready to rush to someone's aid does not seem like a violation.
I'm not thrilled about it, but I appreciate the concern. But I don't like the mistrust.
But you also didn't disclose everything about Eleanor either.
I said I took care of it.
Yeah, but you were following Mark and didn't tell me. So I feel like if I can just kind of be like, yeah, I understand you meant well, then I think...
I never said that I wasn't following Mark.
pretty sure you...
What did I specifically said? I'm not following Mark
Oh,
anymore?
we're doing
I
semantics
haven't-
now?
Yeah, actually we are, because you guys all made me disclose all of my secrets. Yeah, so it is semantics.
Hey, you having a member of the Inquisition as a pet on a leash is not at all the same thing. It's like at all.
Oh, okay.
Let's do a little hypothetical here. Let's do a thought experiment. We're driving, by the way, during all this.
Bailey is maintaining forward momentum. He is trying very hard not to hear anything.
This poor guy is gonna have an aneurysm with all the things I take away from him.
I
But
feel like you should put a glass, and we should get glass or something.
yeah, we'll get like a legit limo. No, let's a thought experiment. Remember when those people came to the club, took a shot at all of us, and we dealt with it. Imagine if that had been at the house of someone we loved. And because of that, there was people there to help them, and they got saved. It just so happens it didn't happen, thank the maker. It might happen tonight, it might happen tomorrow.
Victor, I understand the concept of having a tail on someone for their safety. It's just the lack of trust or not telling us that there's a tail on them. I mean,
I think
but it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Like we're moving on. Everything's fine.
The whole purpose of us getting all of those things out in the open was to eliminate this lack of trust, and neither of you have a ground to stand on in calling each other out. So I think it's exactly what you said. It's just to be let go, because while neither of you did anything bad, you still feel like you were wronged by the other. So
I don't feel wronged. I was just surprised. Is all.
I would say that is a accurate description of how I felt. Oh, no, actually, it's not at all. I super assumed you were still doing that, no matter what you said, because that's, probably what I would have done were the tables turned.
So, in the interests of not having to do this again, is there anything else anybody wants to let out?
Let me know if we need to stop this car first.
Well, since you like to keep leashes on people or tails on them, my sister's in Miami. I would like to have eyes on her if you can.
I can probably call in some favors. Obviously, it's different than, here in our own backyard, but yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Great. I sent her off just in case this blows up in our face. Any of this.
Probably a good idea.
Well, you know who we sent to Vancouver, so as far as I know, that's fine.
Is there anybody else that we have a tie to that we need to look out for?
You know what? In the interest of full disclosure, I have someone. Do you remember a couple years ago when we were importing that fashion from China for the first line? Mm-hmm. We came across those people that were shipping more than fashion in those containers. Mm-hmm. I've kept eyes on those people. We stumbled across a human trafficking thing.
Not a great scenario.
At all. And we stopped it. But the kids that were in that container, maybe they're all students at Griffith College now.
What?
They don't know any of our names. I mean, everybody knows our names, but they don't know we had anything to do with it. But there's some people that I also have eyes on.
All right.
Okay.
That's fine.
I don't have a problem with that.
Anyone else?
You know my thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it then.
Oh, we're here, sir. Yeah, you did mean the cemetery, right?
I'm like, Yeah.
You can just drop us off out front.
Yeah, I'm like, here's
Sure.
good. Yeah, here's good.
Hollywood Forever is one of the oldest cemeteries in Los Angeles. It's been here for at least a century. It's located on Santa Monica Boulevard, well within the borders of Baron Abrams' territory. Studios of Paramount Pictures adjoin one side of it. High walls, topped by sharpened iron spikes pointed toward the street, encircle the entire acreage, punctuated here and there by locked gates. It's famous because of famous people who are interred here, prominent people from the entertainment industry as well as those who played vital roles in shaping the city of Los Angeles. Some of the famous names that are buried here are Cecil B. DeMille, Judy Garland, Bugsy Siegel, the gangster, Fay Wray, both Douglas Fairbankses, Rudolph Valentino, Dee Dee Ramone, and Griffith J. Griffith. Now, Jasper, you know that it's the Gower Street gate. And you know that since there are guests for dinner, it will be unlocked. And you know that there will be no guard and no cameras. So that's where you guide them.
Yeah.
In through the gate. Into the silent city of the dead.
If you would all follow me, we are expected.
Before we go in, before we get out of the car, like, remember, pretty much the moment we get out of this vehicle, assume we're being watched and listened to. And this is super cliche.
I don't live here.
I give her a hard time about the brouhaha, man. Like, come on. I mean, there's enough rotting in a cemetery. Come on. Okay. All right.
There's a reason I don't live here.
All right. Respect face. This is my respect face. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Good face.
Oh my
What?
God.
What?
So, I mean, I know we're being watched and stuff, but it's relevant to that. Like, I went on a date here once, and like, you were seeing, I don't know, I think it was 16 Candles, something stupid.
You mean when they do
So-
movies here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we snuck off, and they did it on Douglas Fairbanks' grave.
You fucked on Fairbanks?
Yeah. And like, they were totally watching.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
Holy fuck, these people are freaks.
I mean, I don't know if they sat there and watched the whole time. They absolutely know what you were doing, though. Why would you do it in public anyway?
I was about to say, yeah, that's the...
Because like that's like it's cool. Have you never?
No. Also, I'm sure a bunch of people saw you too.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, no.
But
Yeah.
Wait.
I mean, like we snuck off and it was,
Why did you go on a date to the cemetery?
That's not the
They
weirdest thing
have-
about this conversation.
they have film screenings there in the evenings a lot of times. Like during the summer, it's very pleasant. It's a great date.
She's not lying. They
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Kids today.
We should do this.
They
Or-
projected onto one of the mausoleums. I forget
I mean,
whose
I
it
guess
is.
we can, but now we know there's Nosferatu here. But all right. I mean,
okay.
Why do
I
you
mean,
think there's movies that get played here during the summer?
that's you know, if we live through the next month and a half, yeah, we super can all come back to Hollywood forever for a movie night. Yeah, okay, yeah, great, sure.
No more.
I thought
On
it was going to
graves.
date.
No,
Okay.
yeah, right. No, not on the not. We're not. I mean, unless you want to on Fairbanks. I mean, like,
Maybe Valentino.
maybe,
Okay.
maybe.
You're not my dad.
I would be horrified if I was.
I think you'd be a great dad.
Really?
I'm with Jasper on that one.
Can't be worse than hers.
Really?
Carver's an asshole.
So you lead the way.
Alonzo.
You lead the way along the main path through the center of the cemetery, passing by tombstones, small crypts.
I'd like to make the note I'm tiptoeing, like totally like picking my feet up.
Are you trying to be
as clean as possible.
silent, or are you trying to keep your shoes clean?
Trying to keep my shoes clean.
It's not difficult on the asphalt path.
Great. Still gonna keep this walk up.
I activate awe while we're walking. If they're gonna watch, I want them to remember that they saw me.
Sure. God. Well, you pass by grave after grave, from the richest to the poorest, From the famous to the completely ordinary, everybody ends up the same. And eventually, many end up in a place like this. But not you. For you, there are no graves, there are no tombstones, there are no memorials. There is nothing to mark your passing when you meet the final death. And that cheerful thought is never far from you in this place. You turn left at the broken gravestone, and you walk straight to the Griffith J.W. Griffith obelisk. Tall white pillar commemorating the burial place of your ancestor.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna activate Seen the Unseen just to.
Just in case.
Yep. I had no idea this was here.
Wits and occult, please.
Can't believe you fucked on a gravestone.
Can you not?
I guess.
Oh yeah. 3, 4, 5 successes.
So, staring
It's like you get so
with
big.
supernatural acuity into the night. There are certainly ghosts here.
Oh.
There are spirits.
What's up?
You can't count that high easily. But there is nothing around his grave.
You still have your jacket, right? Yep. You have
Always
the.
do.
Let's just go underground, please.
This place is safe.
Jasper,
Okay.
you know that to the right of the Griffith obelisk, you're to look for a little stone crypt with an iron door. You open the iron door, go inside.
After you.
You just, by the way, before I go down there, because I saw Lord of the Rings, I remember the ghost thing. Did you bring the? Did you bring
Good
that?
question.
I
Did you?
did not.
The ghost cutting knife.
We're fine here.
Okay, if you didn't feel like you need it, I don't feel like you need it. And I do go in. I do my best to not act afraid or like grossed out or anything. I'm trying to show them respect.
The little stone crypt is empty, but you know where the hidden door is.
Yeah.
The hidden door with the stairs behind it that lead down.
Yeah.
Ghosts in the Lord of the Rings were the good guys, though.
No.
They were kind of mercenaries.
Aragorn kind of had to remember motivate the sword. Like they
Well,
wanted
that's
to.
right.
Yeah.
But they helped out.
Well, you know,
in a
this-
weird sort of Deus Ex Machina.
This is useful. They helped him in exchange for a boon. Aragorn had to promise them something vital in order to get them to help.
You think that? You think that we could get ghosts to help us?
You know, 2 weeks ago I'd have laughed about that, but maybe is there like a ghost army here in Hollywood forever?
If you'll remember, our resident expert on ghosts seemed very surprised that those ghosts that we encountered were doing what they were doing, so I don't think it's a common thing.
Jasper leads you along an access tunnel until you reach a velvet rope. And here is where we will pause our story. Somewhere beneath Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, there's an access tunnel that connects to the outside world by a hidden door inside a small stone crypt. And it's through this access tunnel that you've come to visit Jasper's clanmates. And there's a velvet rope stretching across the tunnel.
Oh, this is
That's-
unexpected.
Beyond, there is only darkness, only shadows, except for a dim, flickering light.
It's very Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm not used to being on this side of the rope.
May we enter?
Yeah, what do we do? I want to.
Is there a password?
I do like it when people have manners. Yes. Please be welcome.
Thank you.
Is there a clip on the rope?
There is.
I slowly reach out, like just in case anybody's gonna say anything, and I unclip it, and I'm just like, after you.
Okay.
As you step into the room beyond the velvet rope, Nellie, you realize you're stepping into something wet. And you feel the liquid flow over the tops of your boots. Now, your feet stay dry, but it's so dark in here you can't tell what the liquid is. It doesn't smell bad. It smells damp, moist, musty, and old. But not foul.
Gonna still tiptoe?
Well, you can certainly tiptoe your way through the water.
Okay.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Join us for dinner.
Once I clip the rope back on, I sort of look towards you and I just say, thank you all for agreeing to host us tonight.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on. And I start walking down the hallway.
It's in fact a large room that you're walking through. And since the flickering lights are the only source of illumination, I'm going to presume that you walk toward those.
Yeah.
I follow him. Whatever Jasper does is what I do.
I'm going to go towards the light.
I still have sense the unseen. Am I seeing anything?
Well, you might very well see some things here. Prepare your dice pool.
Oh, there's a book coming out.
They're Nosferatu nudists. Oh no.
We don't really need to wear clothes.
Yeah.
Wits and aspects.
Take it as a courtesy that I do.
I will roll against you.
3 successes?
You'll see the younger ones.
Right.
Do your clothes, can you make those disappear? Like, with you? Or, like, can you,
In the darkness,
like, you know,
against
just
the edges of the
disappear in your
room,
clothes?
you do see two figures. Grotesque figures. One wears a stunning, beautiful couture, crimson red ball gown over her horrifying figure. The other is dressed as though he might be on his way to a industrial nightclub. All leather and rivets over his equally disgusting form. But as the voice that greeted you comes again, it's not coming from either of the two that you can see, but somewhere else in the darkness.
Okay.
So nice of you to join. Good to have you. Jasper, nice to see you.
Nice to hear you.
Oh, yes. Quite. From out of the shadows, three figures approach. The flickering light you can see are candles, tall white candles in polished silver candelabras that sit upon a large mahogany table that is set for dinner with elegant place settings and polished silverware. In the very dim light of the candles, you can begin to pick out the features of the room. Furniture is antique but well preserved. On the walls are movie posters from the 1930s and the 40s and the 50s, and you realize that each of the posters is for a film starring someone who's buried in the cemetery. The three figures approach the table. One of them is tall, broad-shouldered, with greenish-gray skin and large, pointed ears, sunken eyes, and very large teeth. He wears a tuxedo shirt and a well-tied bow tie, suspenders, expensive slacks and patent leather shoes that disappear into the murky water that he's standing in. Oh, you've come a long way from your homes. Jasper, nice to see you again.
Hello, Mr. Golden.
Pleasure, a pleasure. He approaches the table and stands behind the chair that is at the head of it. Well, casting crew night. Baron Temple.
I extend my hand to him and I say, Mr. Golden, I don't know that I've had the opportunity to make your acquaintance, or have I?
We've never met in person. He does shake your hand.
Sorry.
It's very scaly.
Like, I try not to flinch or anything. I just say, thank you very much for the audience.
And Miss Griffith, a big fan of arachnophoria.
It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. So thank you.
He leans in very close. So close you can smell the grave breath in his mouth. He sniffs at you. Ah, yes. Miss Annabelle.
Hello, Mr. Golden. It is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Very welcome. You were right. She's very nice.
Yes.
Yes. Allow me to introduce my childer. This intoxicating creature is Amalia. She curtsies.
Hello, Amalia.
Amalia also has the greenish-gray skin of her sire and the giant pointed ears, but her teeth are small. Nellie, you think her gown is probably last season, but still couture and extraordinarily expensive. It's a shame that the hem is dragging in the whatever this is and utterly ruining the line. Baron Temple.
I take her hand and I bow and I do kiss her hand.
Ah.
I say, Amalia,
Yes,
very pleased to make your acquaintance.
of course it is.
And you are the other childer?
He shuffles forward. Waves. Hey, Mitnick.
Hi,
Hey,
Nick.
how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Could be better, could be worse. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't we all? Is he dressed as lavishly as the others?
No, he's wearing a lot of leather and a lot of rivets and studs. He's got some big earrings and leather wristbands with metal studs in them, little spikes all the way around. He looks like he's gonna go raving.
Nice.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, Amalia, your gown is just beautiful.
Yes,
Where'd you get such a thing?
thank you. Oh, you know. You should know.
I'm just curious where you got it.
Gary bought it for me.
Oh, that's a very kind gesture. You must come by my store sometime. Perhaps I can,
Oh, I really doubt that.
perhaps I can get something down to you?
Don't do me any favors.
Fair enough. Well, if you should ever be looking for some sort of other couture outfits, I'd be happy
I'll be
to
sure
work with
I
you.
will know where not to go.
I see. Not to go.
Please excuse Amalia. She's a bit sensitive.
Her gowns don't fit me either, Amalia, so I understand.
I can imagine.
As an aside, to the Storyteller, the posters on the wall, Abrams has posters all over his place too.
Yes, he does.
Do I recognize any of these movies as being movies that Abrams produced?
No, these are all older,
Okay.
from an earlier age than when he was involved in the film industry.
Okay.
These are posters like Zorro starring Tyrone Power, and The Seahawk with Errol Flynn, King Kong with Fay Wray, Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz, Cleopatra.
The Golden Age.
For some, I guess.
Well, please make yourselves at home. We'll be eating shortly.
Please sit.
I apologize, sweetie. I didn't know that we were going to eat. We would have brought something.
Yeah, right. Sure. Thank you for having us. Anywhere in particular?
Please make yourselves at home. Amalia sits to Gary's right, and Mitnick sits to his left, leaving you to sit wherever you want at the table.
I'll just take a seat at the table.
Very well.
Gary, it has been some time since we've spoken. How are you?
Can't complain, can't complain. Could do with a bit less excitement.
Same.
What's been keeping you busy lately?
Well, you know, new prince in town. We had a visit.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Well, he knocked at the door.
So I'm sure you know the general situation.
I dare say we do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Let's eat first. He picks up a spoon and taps it against his wine glass. A moment later, there's much more light in the room as a door at the far end opens. Electric light beyond spills out, illuminating the room and allowing you to see the furnishings a little bit more clearly. Not only is there the excellent, if old, furniture, but the walls are paneled in wood, and the accoutrements are polished brass. It's a very nicely decorated place, but it's reminiscent of a room that would have been popular maybe in the 20s. The individual who exits the door is not a Nosferatu. You're not even sure that it's a vampire. It's a person, a human, you think. But its skin is scabby and scaly, like a lizard's, dry. Some of it is sloughing off. And this individual carries out 2 large silver trays with big silver bells covering them to hide the contents. Behind him, another person, a woman with the same appearance. Quickly, they sit the dishes in front of you. And then they bring more for their hosts. And in a few moments, they disappear back through the doorway and close it, leaving you in flickering candlelight and deep shadow once again. Something is making noise under the metal bells over the plates. There's a scritching, a scrabbling, a squeaking. Bon appetit! Gary lifts the lid off his plate and picks up the live rat. Ah, perfect. Just the way I like them.
I pick up mine and grab the rat.
He takes a big bite,
Cheers.
relishing it.
I grabbed mine too. This is
Perfection! Oh, you've outdone yourselves this time. Delicious.
do bite into it, but it violates all of my palate restrictions. So I don't know what that means.
Well, you could employ the blush of life to keep it down.
I would like to do that.
Temporarily.
I'm trying not to offend them.
Make a rouse check. Your beast is revolted. The taste is like rancid oil mixed with turpentine and bitter coal and ashes.
Smooth.
Gary just nods. He's too into his rat to talk to you.
Oh, I just ate before I got here.
Amalia and Mitnick are enjoying their meal as well.
I mean, so did I. Doesn't
Nelly?
You can't try it.
So you can eat rats this whole
It's moving.
Oh, it's alive.
Get any nourishment.
It's very fresh.
I'm gonna kind of play with it a little, like Kind of,
Kind
sort
of like a child kind of messes with the food on their plate to make it look like they've eaten it.
No, more like I'm gonna try to like flirt with it just a little. Just a little.
Just a little.
At least try to get something to taste good.
It's a rat.
All right, I'm gonna bite into it. Oh.
You know how you felt when you saw Paulina's spring collection back in San Francisco? This is worse.
Oh,
Worse.
this is great. I love it.
You want to try to hide it?
Delicious. Just like Mom used to make.
You can either roll dexterity and larceny or dexterity and stealth.
I just drained the rat.
You just drink the rat.
I really do drink it. Yeah.
Kind of flavorless.
Yeah.
You've had rat before. This is among the better rodents that you've had.
2 successes.
2 successes. Well, tuck it away in your jacket pocket and hope you weren't seen.
Thank you, Gary.
It's not often that we have guests for dinner.
Thank you.
Seconds?
Couldn't get stuffed.
Of
Yeah.
course. Of course.
Such a rare delicacy.
This is true. That I'd heard stories I didn't know they were true. It's a wonderful experience for the palate.
You were so hungry, you ate the whole thing.
I like a little bit of roughage.
The bones do make it crunchy. So, how may we be of assistance to the Baron of the Valley and his
Associates.
Valley Coterie associates?
Coterie. Yes, the stories are true. Mr. Golden, just to make sure that I'm addressing you properly, do you speak for the Nosferatu in the area? Are you an independent? Like what? I want to make sure that I'm showing you the proper respect due your station.
Amalia makes a sound somewhere between a raspberry and a grunt. Nellie, she's staring at your necklace.
I mean, Mr. Golden here has been around for a very long time and knows a lot. Has a lot of information.
The Baron Abrams and I are contemporaries. So I speak for this coterie and for many Nosferatu in many other territories. We're less territorial than most clans.
Yes.
And we're a little less interested in politics.
But you were of sufficient station that Vannevar felt the need to reach out to you.
Well, you know what they say. Those who ignore our clan fail. Now, maybe they don't say that strictly, but I like the sound of it.
It is implied. It is implied.
And how did you respond to the messenger?
To Mr. Price, well, you know,
Okay.
it's polite to listen when the prince speaks, so we listened, and then we laughed, and then he left.
Are you all normally of a mind of the Ivory Tower and princes, or?
Mitnick just shakes his head. You know, I don't care. I mean, I couldn't care less. Anarchs, Camarilla, whatever. As long as it's not the Sabbat.
Yeah, not the Sabbat at all.
What you guys will come to understand a little better is that as long as we get to do what we want to do, we don't care who runs things.
That's more or less true. Now,
To a certain extent.
there are limits, however.
Yes.
I don't like the sound of this blood tax, for instance.
No.
No, that's not a thing. Just one other question. Forest Lawn, it's over on our side of the hill.
Yeah.
Is there a similar Nosferatu assemblage at Forest Lawn?
Well, they're not as refined.
Clearly not. Clearly not. Yeah.
No celebrities, really.
Well, Michael Jackson is over there. I mean, that should count for something. Like, I mean, there's some. No. Little contemporary.
Sure, Jasper can introduce you. I believe Gary's moved there ever since the debacle in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
So,
Good to know. Well, as you speak to your Valley associates, please let them know that they're always welcome, and I would love to speak with any of them.
So,
how charming. Don't think you could stop us.
True, but I would like you to know that I'm not trying to.
Duly noted. A fair point.
so you've decided not to take a part in this conflict, not to choose a side.
Well, not yet.
But you're considering it.
I see our role as more of neutral nation. Unless I'm given some incentive.
So it's up for negotiation then.
Well, I believe that the Baron would agree that all things are up for negotiation.
All things are up for negotiation.
What have you come to negotiate?
That you join the side of the Anarchs.
Mitnick and Amalia both look at Gary very intently. That is to say, fight.
Yes. You bring extremely valuable resources to this fight. Information is power. When money is not power, and
They're definitely in tandem.
yeah.
What's in it for us?
You want to be left alone. I think we both know the Camarilla will never truly leave you alone. As long as they want something from you, they will always show up on your doorstep. We can guarantee continued autonomy. Unimpeded autonomy.
And I'm pretty sure we're not going to ask for a blood tax either.
Hadn't considered it once.
The Free States. They're called that for a reason.
Yeah, but we have to share them with Toreador.
Toreador,
How free can it possibly be?
they can be positively delightful, especially when they're up there and you're all down here and everybody has their own space to be themselves.
I mean, look at our beautiful, diverse coterie. We've got Nosferatu and Toreador getting along just fine. Don't we, Jasper?
Yeah, Nellie.
Just fine.
Great.
See?
Malia doesn't look convinced, but she shuts up.
Now, I asked for permission to come here because while it may not be what I want to do, we've been put into a situation where we have to be at the forefront of this conflict through no real desire of my own.
Was that what was going through your head when you snicker-snacked the sheriff?
There wasn't a lot going through my head when I did that.
There was something going through his head, though.
Have you decided what you're going to do?
That's part of this little thing we're doing here. Now, what could help us in this situation would be information that we don't necessarily possess.
How lucky for you that I probably do.
Exactly. And I have informed them that the answers to questions have a price.
Well, nothing is free.
No. So, we are here for an exchange.
Ah,
To get answers to things these fine kindred may have in exchange for your fee, as things should work.
And what might that fee be?
Well, that always depends on the information required. And, of course, the degree of confidence you need in it.
To be honest with you, it's not going to be just particular information. It's going to be continued.
Is that supposed to happen, Mr. Golden?
It does happen from time to time.
We've had some odd experiences of late that have made us jumpier than we usually would be. I apologize for that.
Well, we'll just put on more candles.
Yeah, thank you. Where was I?
You don't mind candlelight, do you?
Yeah, we've had some negative experiences with fire also, but we wouldn't...
It's fine.
It,
I'm not sensitive.
it would not be just simple items of information. It would be continued assistance in what could potentially become a war. It would be assurances that information would also not be sold to the Camarilla.
Well, that's very expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
You ever heard Aesop's fable about the bats?
I don't believe I have.
Once upon a time, there was a great war between the beasts and the birds of the land. Now, the bats, being both birds and beasts in their mind, flying and having soft bodies like the bird, like mice, they decided that they could play both sides. When they were asked by the birds to help, they'd help as long as the birds were winning. Sometimes they would feed information to the beasts if it was in their best interest. At the end of
They sound very intelligent creatures to me.
they made out very well in that war, but
Oh, I like this story already.
when the war ended, after that bloody conflict, the two groups got together and they realized that even though that they had settled their differences, that the bats had been playing them both against each other, and that wasn't fair. So they drove the bats away from the birds and away from the beasts, and that is why bats live in the dark, in caves, all alone. And Aesop said that the moral of the story was that he who is neither one thing nor the other has no friends. You can't imagine that if you play both sides against each other, that either will extend a hand of friendship to you once this is all over.
That was a very interesting story. I'm sure your friend Jasper has told you that our clan isn't interested in your friendship.
I've made every effort.
Now, if you are implying, and if I am to infer, that when this conflict is over, should you prevail, you will seek to, what, drive us out of our home?
I would never. We would never. But we can't speak. This isn't even our territory. I don't think that Baron Abrams would be as magnanimous.
He can bill me.
You're never... While that story is all well and good, Annabelle, and I see your point, you don't get rid of us because we keep existing, because no one knows we're here.
Now, let us say, for the sake of discussion, and so as not to ruin a perfectly good dinner party, I mean, we haven't even got to dessert yet. Let us say, for the sake of discussion, that the fable is somewhat accurate. And were we to do as we have done for millennia, we might suffer some untoward consequences when the dust settles. I would thank you for the warning, but I think I would prefer to take my chances.
If I may, one thing I think we both understand is business. And ostensibly, the Nosferatu is one of the great clans of the Camarilla. Maybe they push you all to the edges a little unjustly, if I might say, but theoretically, would you agree that all things being equal, the Nosferatu are in fact aligned with the Ivory Tower?
I think that was true.
Was.
I think you will find that many of our brethren
Yeah.
are less inclined to the Ivory Tower than ever before. And it is true that many prefer to side, when they take a side at all, with the Unbound.
The Camarilla, in their ever fair and even-minded ways, when recently things went badly for them. And as far as I'm to be made aware, when around this Second Inquisition started getting bad, they blamed a lot of what happened on us.
Ooh, I did hear a rumor about TrekNet.
Mitnick hunches up and he looks like he wants to disappear under the table. You could swear that he might even be blushing. He's turning a very dark shade of green.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Because,
why'd you have to bring that up?
well, because again, I have the utmost respect for the Nosferatu as information brokers, but there was a catastrophic information breach somewhere in tandem with the rise of a Second Inquisition.
Man, rub it in.
Yes, but you see, that information breach only happened because they were looking.
Yeah, if the Cammies hadn't tipped him off in the first place, ShrekNet would still be up and running and, things would be better.
Which means that's even more of a reason for you all to perhaps be less inclined to actively side with the Camarilla. Because I can understand.
You're going to bring back ShrekNet? You ain't got that kind of dough.
I mean, Ventru have all the dough.
You even back up your personal computer.
I mean, I've recently brought on a new IT guy that is handling all that stuff for me. Yeah, I have.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, I would love some insight. If you're a technical guy, is that the thing you do?
Ha! I got all that.
I mean, then yeah, I would love to talk.
Gotta see my
afterwards.
rig.
Dude, I would love it. But overtly, I understand, again, I understand Annabelle's point. I understand the need to pick a side and what is coming. I also am intimately familiar with being crushed on both sides to the point of not necessarily being able to declare one or the other. So while I'm not necessarily asking you all to just throw in and say we're anarchs and burn down the Ivory Tower, we would like a close working relationship, even if that means all we can count on is continued neutrality.
The Camarilla don't respect you. They don't respect anything that's below their lofty idea of, I guess, ancient ideals of vampirism, kindred.
She got a point, Gary. I don't like her, but she's got a point.
She grows on you, Mitnick.
I don't know. I think she kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Amalia, we're going to win you over. You're not the first person that didn't like us at first. He didn't like us at first, but give us a chance.
It's debatable now.
What we seek on our side of things is to provide a safe haven for all kindred in Los Angeles.
What would you have us do?
Cards on the table, Mr. Golden, since you probably know anyway. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. She's absolutely right. In the Valley, we'd like to create a safe haven for our people. I believe, the Inquisition is an imminent threat to all of us.
On this, we are agreed.
And I believe our greatest chance at survival is cooperation. I would rather avoid an active war with the Camarilla if possible. I would like to open diplomatic relationships with them if possible. And if we're forced to bloodshed, I would like to win swiftly and decisively.
We don't ask that you particularly risk any of your people. We ask for any information that might help our cause, and we ask that you not actively harm it.
Intriguing. It's very kind of you to offer us hospitality, which is what I think you are offering us.
To all kindred. Except the Sabbat. And I
You
point at
must-
Midnick.
You must understand, of course, that from our perspective, as I said earlier, you could hardly stop us if we wished to be in your territory. But we would not wish to provoke you either.
Just like we're enjoying this delightful, pleasant meal. I would like for all of us to be able to interact openly and pleasantly with each other.
It seems to be the idea that we're not only wanting to change the way the Camarilla looks at things and to remove them from the situation, but to change the way that the Anarchs tend to treat each other as well.
Well,
Our friend Annabelle here is much of an idealist, and she has ideas of change. Whether they work or not is up to the future, but we aren't necessarily looking to go back to how the Anarchs used to be either.
in the interests of full disclosure, since you have been magnanimous, I suppose I can afford to be as well. And I shall admit to you that when I issued a similar invitation to the Ivory Tower's representatives to come dine with us, it was declined.
They're fools. Why? Did they give a reason?
Because, as you said, we are beneath them.
Wow.
They treat us all like we're beneath them.
But you came. You came down into the dark, through the sludge, and you enjoyed your dinner. That counts for something. It's not nothing.
We came down here not just because we want something from you. It's not what can you do for us. It's what can we do for you. For too long, the Nosferatu have been disregarded in this city.
I cannot disagree with you there.
So this is the exact opposite of the way negotiations usually go, but yes, to agree with Annabelle, is there a request that you have of us? I obviously have quite some say in what happens in the valley. I have at least the ears of the other barons. Is there something that you would like, Mr. Goldman? Because perhaps maybe we are going to be granting something to you.
I suspect that there is little you could personally offer that we could not provide for ourselves. But, for the sake of discussion, let us ask my children what they would have.
Amalia, Midnick,
Well, okay. Wow, yeah. You talked about Shrek Night.
What is that?
Oh, it was amazing. It was like a computer network, and we could talk to Nos all over the place, totally secure. And
until it wasn't.
yeah, until it wasn't. Inquisition took the whole thing. I mean, that's how they, that's kind of how they started picking us off.
Then you've got to know better than anyone if the Camarilla runs these parts. That's not going to be a thing anymore. They're trying to go back to, someone told me it's not 2019 to them, it's 1519 to them.
So, I mean, we can't rebuild that system. It's it's not going to happen. But maybe locally we could do something if we had, backing.
I mean, you know me, you know what I do. Maybe our interests are aligned.
Maybe.
Maybe. And Amalia, what would you like?
Ugh.
It's got to be something.
I want 3 things. I want your bracelet. And I want you to be my personal shopper for a night.
You love going on shopping trips.
And
She did say 3.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a Toreador. His name is Rex. I want him.
Could you please clarify in what way would you like?
Just drop him off where I can find him. I'll do the rest.
Oh, so you don't hate all of us?
No, I hate him.
Depends on what she wants to do with him. Yeah, maybe.
May I ask what exactly are you planning on doing?
You'd rather not know.
Yeah, maybe it's like Annabelle's thing. I don't. That's neither here nor there. Okay, so
That's what I want.
ShrekNet, Amalia, I think those are all very reasonable. So I guess then the question becomes is what do we get in exchange? If I were to say that I can lend my personal resources and interests into rebuilding at least a local version of ShrekNet, a local hub, which I think is useful personally. If we do get Amalia upgraded with the help of a legendary fashionista. What are you prepared to offer us in return?
Well, it sounds like my child are offering you individual separate bargains. They don't speak for this coterie, nor the clan. Yeah, they are welcome to make separate deals with you if they wish.
But it sounds like overall that judging by your childer,
Childer.
Hi.
judging by your childer, that resources and respect.
Well, let us say that at this moment I am persuaded to consider the possibility of perhaps staying out of the fight and not aiding your enemies, which is a considerable thing.
That is of substantial value. What would that cost? A blind eye.
Griffith Park holds many secrets. I wish access to them.
I can't agree to that at this exact moment because even though Griffith Park is absolutely in my domain, I know there are others that have a vested interest in the park whose trust I would not want to violate. But I do think it is definitely negotiable.
Well, that is an attitude which does you credit. But that is my price.
Access to the park, or at least its secrets.
We can negotiate the finer terms of the agreement down to the last exclamation point if we wish. But in general terms, yes.
If you will give me a couple of days to make some other inquiries to make sure that this would be acceptable.
Well, if your associates are the type who walk in the daylight, then I'm not sure you need their permission.
Griffith Park is a complicated place, as you well know.
I am intrigued.
Perhaps it would be even interesting to have launch a joint investigation into the park.
Perhaps. One other question. If we were to ask about Prince Thomas's strength, I think he was driven out of San Francisco, so I don't know how much he can have with him, especially since Marcos came to such an unfortunate end. We know about Strauss, we know about Chaz. There may or may not be a La Sombra around who may or may not be working with the prince. If we were to find out a little more, not necessarily specifics, not necessarily where they're sleeping, but just who came down with the prince, what would that cost?
Well, I think I could see my way clear to giving you a general impression of strength in numbers for, shall we say, a minor favor. to be named later?
A minor favor.
That's important information.
Now, this would be a favor from the Baron.
Of course.
Not all favors are created equal.
I understand. As long as we can agree that the major or minor nature of the favor might be determined by me, I believe in exchange for a general overview of who might have come into town with Prince Thomas. Perhaps they've already left. Who can say? But at least Camarilla members who've been spotted in the area lately. Then yes, in exchange for a minor favor, that would be acceptable to me, the Baron of the Valley.
Agreed. Our count, our tally, if you will. Let us say, we'll round up for convenience. Perhaps 4 kindred. Already. Not all from San Francisco. Mainly Ventru, Toreador, Tremere, a smattering of Gangrel, most of whom are suing for peace or attempting to return to the Camarilla.
Interesting.
No Bruja.
Yeah, because there was the thing that
No Nosferatu.
Really?
perished the thought.
A few in the Clan of the Moon. The Malkavians. And one, La Sombra. Now, was that worth a minor favor to be named later?
I definitely think that was worth a minor favor to be named later. If I could ask a question, just an opinion. Strauss seems to be a particular problem, personally. But is there anyone that you, Mr. Golden, in particular, would be wary of? You, as a man of your station in age and power, would be particularly concerned about?
Well, I think you are wise to be concerned about Maximilian Strauss. He knows Los Angeles quite well. And he is a warlock of no small power.
No.
Apart from Mr. Strauss, the La Sombra should be your next concern. That is a particular problem.
That is a particular problem.
Who are they?
The La Sombra are a clan of kindred, one of the 13 great clans, of which your own is one. They were at odds with much of the rest of the kindred at one point in time. And they and some other dissenters formed a completely different faction. You have heard of the Sabbat.
Yeah.
But there has been a change of heart, shall we say. And more than a few La Sombra are seeking membership in the Camarilla. It is extraordinary. I never thought I would live to see this.
Yes, that doesn't seem characteristic at all.
It is very difficult now to obtain accurate information from other cities at speed. Things are much slower than they used to be, thanks to the Inquisition. But we have confirmed that this is the case, and at least one of these kindred has come to Los Angeles.
At least one.
Huh.
So your children seem to have asked us of different prices. Is it possible that we could also negotiate some other things?
As I believe we said before, all is negotiable.
Excellent. I am also looking for information on our loving herald, Chaz Price.
Oh, Oh, Mr. Price.
Yes.
I would have paid good money to see him down here with them enjoying this sumptuous banquet.
Oh, I hate that guy. Just give him to her. I don't like her either. But, I mean, if those are my choices, just give him up.
It's not how we do it.
Understood.
You wish to know what exactly about Mr. Price?
So much detail as I can about him. His dwelling.
How many people he has with him?
Miss Griffith, allow me to pay you the compliment of being blunt. You have eyes looking for Mr. Price already.
Yes, but eyes that I can only see during sunlight, if you will. I'm trying to seek out information that perhaps he can't find.
Don't sell your pet short.
Fair enough.
But the information you request is available.
What if I were to ask for your assistance underground for Mr. Price at some point?
Underground.
Yes.
You wish him incarcerated? Or you
Wish many a things for this kindred, but
Ah,
I believe that it might be worth bringing him down below.
Do it.
No one likes Chaz.
I am not a member of his fan club. To remove a herald of an elder Ventrue prince, no small task. Of course it can be done. Are you really willing to pay such a price?
Yes.
That, and again, the finer details can be negotiated,
But of
Miss
course.
Griffith, would require no less than a major boon to be repaid later at a time of my choosing from you personally, and Amalia will design your fall collection.
That is a gorgeous gown she is wearing right now. That is, I like her fashion sense. I think she's fantastic.
Now, we can negotiate the finer details, and you may have some nights to think about it. But what we would offer at the very least is assistance in location, immobilization, and incarceration. Death not included.
Fair enough. And am I safe to make the assumption that you guys know the ins and outs of the underground?
None better.
So if one were to plan an escape, perhaps would be helpful?
That could be included in the negotiations.
Noted.
As for me, I realize that you all are the best network in Los Angeles, and you probably know all of the anarchs in the area, any that are unaffiliated with the cause who have not answered the calls thus far. I'm seeking to reach them. Anarchs, unaffiliated kindred, thin bloods.
Thin bloods.
Yes.
There are many thin bloods in Los Angeles. They tend to keep to themselves. They're not wanted.
We want them.
We want them.
You say that now.
We've met some, and they're no worse than the rest of us, really. They also deserve a home.
We can get word to them that you wish to speak. Prior arrangements prevent me from providing you with more information at this time.
That's fine.
One must respect one's bargains and deals.
I said the same, but just to clarify, someone else has already tapped you for information on Thin Bloods?
I'm afraid that is the limit of what I can discuss.
Oh,
Yep.
you don't.
I absolutely think.
Now then, I am not unaware that our help could be invaluable in this conflict. And with free access to the secrets of Griffith Park, you will obtain much from us. I will make you another offer.
I'm listening.
There is a gang. They used to be part of Nine's crew. He knows all about them. He could probably find them for you. Called the Valkyries, or the Valkyries, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Bring them to your cause. Sway them to your side. If you can do that, I will double the strength of what we bring.
Really? What's your interest in them, if I may ask?
I think it would be much more entertaining if you found out for yourself.
Okay.
From having been around, do I know anything about them? Does that mean anything to me?
Who? What?
Right. I don't go downtown. Yeah, Nines. Got it. Okay.
I'll ask Nines. Thank you.
Oh, it's getting late. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave soon. Is there any other business you'd like to conduct before we conclude?
All of my problems are
You-
pretty straightforward.
Have anything to ask the wizard? That's a reference that they would get.
They would get that.
There's-
That's it. Right.
Nick points to the poster of the Wizard of Oz. Judy Garland. Yeah. Yeah, Judy Garland.
I do have one thing I'd like to know. Do we know where Strauss stays?
Well, I don't know if we do, but I do.
Right. What do you need for that information?
What is your interest in Strauss?
That costs you.
Yes. Always tricky to do business with family.
It's more of a professional curiosity.
I wonder. We hear a lot of things.
I'm sure you do.
The location of his haven? Yes, that can be done. I know you, Jasper. I know what you can do. I know what you are capable of. And I know you are living on the doorstep of what I want to look at.
I know. It puts me in a rather interesting situation, doesn't it?
Interesting is one word for it. When we have access to the secrets of Griffith,
Yes.
I want a personal tour. A guided tour.
Right.
I want to see it for myself.
I'm sure you do. Well, when that deal happens, that can be something that is not out of the realm of possibility.
There's someone down there I should like to see again.
Who is it?
Not now. I see. Well, that will be an interesting day.
Won't it, though?
Yes.
Well,
So,
As always, we don't wish to wear out our welcome. I would just say it's always difficult to ask questions when I don't necessarily know what knowledge is possessed. So I would say, please feel free to reach out to me at any time if you come across some information you feel might be of value.
Yes, as you said, everything is negotiable.
You have barely scratched the surface. But we prefer to answer questions rather than pose them. I feel we've accommodated you to an unusual degree.
You've been very generous.
Mitnick, I'm sure you have my phone number. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Do
it.
I
Get
think,
this thing up and running.
yeah, we might have
So cool.
an alignment of interests.
I'm down.
And I slowly stand up. Like,
Gary, Amalia, and Mitnick stand as well.
I'm stuck.
Take a few nights, think about your bargains, and Jasper can get word back to us about what you decide. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for being our guests.
thank
you
you
for
all
having
for
us.
having us.
For your hospitality.
Good night.
Good night. Good
He
night.
steps back into the shadows and fades from your view.
Let's leave.
And then Amalia does the same. And then finally Mitnick.
I do everything I can to not vomit in the cemetery. Like I try.
You figure you'll make it to the tunnel.
I know. Go ahead.
I still fully believe they're looking, but I try to be as discreet as possible. I'm like,
Gonna gargle it up. Out it comes. Blood, fur, bone, whatever went down, comes back up. Decorates the tunnel wall a charming crimson.
How can you hold this down?
It really doesn't affect me that
It's
much.
okay. Let it all out, buddy.
The rat didn't know who I was.
You see,
That's the stupidest requirement.
I know, right?
God, how self-centered and
He is an intro.
it's okay. Get it all out. Just keep. No. Don't speak. Don't speak. It's okay. It's okay. You got it all out?
Yeah, let's just go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
So you depart the way you came.
Yes.
Back through the access tunnel, back up to the crypt. Once you get out into the night and get a better look at your situation, Nellie, those boots are... Can't wear them ever again. But you're back out under the somewhat cleaner night air into the cemetery. Now, I'm presuming you make your way out.
Yes.
Back to the car where Bailey is waiting, ready to take you to the club.
I'd like to tour head towards the place in NoHo.
Yes, sir.
We're nowhere near dawn, right? I mean, I don't know how
You've
long.
got hours to go.
Yeah, head towards NoHo.
Head towards North Hollywood,
Yeah.
the arts district.
I'm like, Jasper.
going?
I'm going to show you the place I put an offer on. But I look towards the back of the car, especially the way back. I'm like, should we reach around back there? I don't.
No one's following us.
Yeah.
And soon, when like a couple minutes in, I pull the rat out of my pocket.
Oh, I don't ever need to see one of those ever.
Still alive. It's a little woozy from being, stuck in your pocket for a while.
Are you,
but
is that for Ramona? What is?
Yeah,
it doesn't like.
you remember the rat pack?
It does not like you. It doesn't like being in your hand. It's
Okay,
frightened. It's
okay,
scared.
It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't understand me.
It doesn't like you because you're not alive.
It's freaked out,
Oh.
squirming, trying to
It
get
knows
away.
what you are.
Oh. Sorry.
It's terrified.
Hey,
I'm so sorry. I'm
Just
sorry.
let it go outside
I just,
of the car.
I put it on the floor.
that's yeah.
It
Wait.
disappears under a seat.
I'll put my legs up.
Okay, it's okay.
Well,
But my feet are worse.
well, how'd that go? You tell me.
Do you feel you got stuff that was worth what you paid?
It's not completely clear what I've got to pay for it, but theoretically, yes.
I mean,
No, I think it went well.
the secrets of Griffith Park are gonna get explored sometime. We don't have the time for it at the moment.
I mean, realistically, it's not my thing. I don't understand it anyway. It's really only you and Eva that I wanted to get to sign off on it.
Yeah,
Just once they get in, never getting them out.
I know.
I think being able to know when we go to bed that the Camarilla aren't going to be aren't going to be buying our secrets. It's a very valuable gift.
You understand that even if they do help and they don't help them, whatever information we give them doesn't go away.
Secrets are tricky things. You've all discovered the dangers of withholding information, and yet sometimes it is necessary to protect those we love and defend ourselves against those who would harm us. Secrets are the stock and trade of the Nosferatu, and yours too, in a way of speaking. This seems like a good place to pause our story for tonight. Elsewhere in Los Angeles this evening, as always, secrets have a way of getting out.
Okay, Greg. This is a standard debriefing. Well, as standard as these things can get.
Yeah, just ask your questions, okay?
What happened when you got to LA?
Well, it was a shit show from the beginning. We were the Special Affairs Division, so you know what that's about. Everything and anything outside the box. You know, Sasquatch, aliens, ghosts, all the shit you guys laugh at. If it looks impossible, we check it out. But then we got a tip about these the blank bodies. And I'm talking about very, very credible leads. I send all the files up to HQ, and we get a big fat nothing. So we decide, hey, we'll go down to the coast ourselves, have a few laughs, hunt some bloodsuckers.
Then
we came here, we had some laughs, hunted some bloodsuckers. You get the point.
right. But what did you find when you got here?
You know what I fucking found. Blank bodies. All right? These suckheads were just hanging out in the LA nightlife. And it goes deep. I'm talking a whole shadow society. These big, crazy midnight politics. An actual fucking conspiracy. All that shit, and still not a peep from HQ, except for the occasional message received ping for all of our reports.
So you took steps?
Oh, we took steps. Yeah, we made moves. We had no support, thank you for that. But we got hooked up with a minor gang of blanks, run by this guy named Bobby Blaine. He's a kind of a local hitter in that world. Anyway, we promised him he could be the head bloodsucker of LA, just as long as he gives up all his friends. So, you know, pretty standard Rico stuff. But even though it seemed like a good plan, it was not.
And where is this Bobby Blaine now?
Oh, he's dead. And I mean really dead. We got caught in the middle of some kind of Fang war, and then they got wind of us, and they burned through him. His holdings, his fucking memories, everything. And then threw us in for good measure.
That's where you lost your whole team?
Good agents. Just good people. And they get burned to death in that fucking vamp cult S&M club, or whatever it was, the Chat Noir.
One of the blanks started the fire.
No. No, I started the fire. Fuck. I had to do something, okay? They got caught, and I couldn't take the idea of them being turned. You have to understand what they can do to us if they catch us. You do know, don't you? They make us into them. I could not let that happen to my people. They're better off dead, and they would tell you the same fucking thing.
What happened to them? Do you have surveillance on one of them? The ones that took down Blaine?
No, I have no idea. You know, maybe they died in the fire too. Look, all I know is once Jankowski and Wilson died, I got the fuck out of there. Okay? I mean completely off the grid. I paid cash for cheap hotel rooms. I used exclusively burner phones. I started living out of fucking trash cans. Because that's what you do when you're burned. Now, I got no idea if those blanks are still undead or whatever. But hey, bright side is they have no idea that I'm alive either.
I want to believe you, Greg. That if you wanted out, you could have got out of LA on the first bus. That you're still in the game. Nah, you're too good. And if you're willing to sacrifice your own people, you've got at least one of these blank bodies under surveillance. You had your out. You chose to stay in. That's a very good thing, Agent. You did your job.
Oh, fuck you and your job.
Well, you think you can turn it off, Greg? You're one of us. You always have been, and you always will be. Now, what do you have for me?
I got one group I've been keeping tabs on. They're kind of an emerging power in the night scene, but I've been keeping my distance. All right?
What have you got, Greg? Where's the file? Look, forget special affairs. First Light is the real deal. Okay, we've got power. We're expanding globally, even the Vatican. Listen, you and I both know that these things threaten everything. Everything that's important to us. Okay? So help me. Help me help you out of the cold. Help me take them down. Hello, Fiona. Good work, Agent. We'll be in touch.
So, I am maybe shamefully a little bit behind on technology. I need to know how to make a self-contained repository of information that only certain people can access that is completely hack-proof.
Well, that's not really what I do. I feel like you've been misinformed slightly. But I will say, if you have we call them computers now. I don't know how long it's been.
No, I know what a computer is.
Okay, if you have a computer and you have all the data that's on it, you can have that data reside both on the computer and somewhere else. So let's say your home computer gets destroyed for whatever reason, or gets left behind if you're on the move. You could still access the data that was on the computer through a service like the one that we provide.
So, instead of having a contained thing with all the information in it, it's in two places.
That's right, which is the opposite, I think, of what you're going for.
Yes.
But what if I told you that it's added utility if it's in more than one place? So if you have all the data in one place where only you can get it,
Yeah.
that may as well be your brain. But if you want to use that data somewhere else, then having it in two places can be beneficial,
I see.
especially if you can access it from wherever you are in the world, as long as you have access to the internet.
That does sound interesting. Continue.
Yeah, so when you have all this data that you're putting on your computer and then you want it to be somewhere else, you use
Right.
a program like Backblaze. Backblaze.
Right.
We'll take the data that's on the computer, we'll store it securely in our cloud, and then wherever you are, if you so choose to get the data back, you log in
Right.
to our website,
Okay.
and you can get that data back onto any computer or mobile device that you're using at the moment.
Doesn't really answer my question.
Not quite, but if you want to try it, you can go to backblaze.com/LA by night. You can start a free trial there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, Kindred. It's Yev with Backblaze. Go to backblaze.com/LA by night and start your free trial tonight.